Let me show you some of the first things that you can do on Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8 right after the initial configuration. So most of the time, if you open notifications on your phone, then you will find this notification over here, finish setting up your device. You can go over here to pretty much do something that you didn't do during the initial configuration. And you can probably change your mind over here in case you actually want to do something now that you could have done during the initial configuration. Although it is not really necessary to go through this section again. You can just skip it, ignore it, and later on it's going to be just gone. And sometimes you can also find it in settings, I believe. If you open settings, then sometimes you can find a prompt over here to finish setting up the phone. So of course, like I said, if you want to, you can do so. Now, besides that, what we can do is we can go to lock screen and AOD in settings. And over here, you should be able to find screen lock and biometrics. Over here, of course, we can set up a password. You can set up the screen lock password, or we can change it in case you have created one. And besides that, if you want to use the face recognition or the fingerprint sensor, then you can set it up in here as well. Keep in mind that in order to use biometrics, you have to have a screen lock password set up before that. Now, besides that, what is also recommended to do is, of course, use a Samsung and Google accounts. So in the case of a Google account, you can just go to Accounts and Backup. Then over here we have Manage Accounts. And then you can press Add Account in order to choose the Google option. You can also find the Samsung account option straight away here as well. So you can, of course, sign into a Samsung account and Google account, unless you already have your Google account, of course. Or if you use, of course, multiple accounts, then you can just set them up over here. Google allows you to use multiple accounts on your device. Samsung allows you to use just one account, unfortunately. So if you have a couple of different Gmails that you want to have access to on your phone, you can do so here. Now, you might be wondering why you need a Samsung account or a Google account, and the answer is very simple. In the case of Google account, we have access to the Play Store, which is of course the place where you can download apps. In the case of Samsung account, we have access to the Galaxy Store, which is also an additional store which allows us to download specific apps. Of course, there are more features that are granted if you decide to use Samsung or Google accounts, but I believe these are the most important ones. Nevertheless, once you have that done, we're going to go back to settings, and of course it is recommended to check if we have any updates. So at the bottom here we have software update, and you can tap to check for updates to see if there's anything new. Most of the time, if there is, then you can see that you can prepare and download and then install the update. This can be done in the background, so you can just leave that and the phone is going to keep downloading and installing the update. And once it is ready to be implemented, you will have a prompt that is going to tell you that you should restart your smartphone. So of course, you can do that whenever you can. Besides that, if we go to the app drawer, you will notice that we have many different apps that some of you might consider to be bloatware. Like, for example, we have TikTok pre-installed, Perplexity, there's also Netflix, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, and probably some other stuff that I just don't notice right now. But nevertheless, of course, if you don't use these apps at all, you can just easily uninstall them. You can just press and hold your finger on an app, and then over here we have the uninstall option. And of course, I understand that these are one of the most popular apps that many people use on a daily basis. Of course, if you are one of them, that's completely fine. You can use them, of course, but if you don't, I just wanted to say that you can just get rid of these apps. Now, besides that, it is also important to update your apps. So we're gonna start with the Play Store, and you will see this welcome message. So of course, you want to just skip through that. There we go. And what you can do is you can tap on your Google account here in the upper right corner. Then you can go to My Apps and Games. And here you should be able to find download. So things that you can download straight away. You might also find some setup options. So apps that you probably have installed on other devices and the phone might try to install it. And here we have updates. So you can, of course, make sure that everything is up to date. Now you can use the update button for each app individually. And in other cases, you have the update all button in here. If there's anything updating right now, then you will have to wait for that, or you can just cancel and then update everything just like that. And of course, you can find an update button here before you go to the list of update apps. So this is how it looks like. Now, in the case of Galaxy Store, let me just quickly sign into my account here. Once you have access to the Galaxy Store, you can go to menu in the bottom right corner, and then here we have updates. So you can find some more apps that you probably want to update straight away. And there we go. And of course, here we can find certain apps that cannot be updated with the Play Store. Alright, now besides that, it is also recommended to go back to settings, and you can go to display settings, because over here we can make some changes here and there. Like for example, you can change the light and dark mode. You can choose whichever you prefer to use. We have the brightness setting, so you can, for example, toggle the adaptive brightness. If you want your display to be brighter or dimmer, then of course you can adjust it very easily. We have the motion smoothness, which should be set to adaptive, but if it's not, then you might want to turn it on to have 120 Hz display refresh rate. And you can probably find some additional settings here and there, like for example, I prefer to change the screen timeout. Now in my case, I have to set it a bit, for a longer time because for the sake of these videos, but in your case, you might want to actually stick with 30 seconds. You can adjust the screen zoom, the text size. We have the edge panels that you can toggle. You can also go to navigation bar in order to choose if you want to use buttons for navigation or swipe gestures. And for example, we have the option to increase the touch sensitivity as well and toggle accidental touch protection. So be sure to check out display settings. Also, we have battery settings below, which are also quite important to check out. Because, for example, over here we have the battery protection, which you might want to use. Now, in my case, I prefer to use the maximum battery protection, which sets up the limit to 80%. This can be adjusted up to 95%. But of course, you don't really have to use the maximum battery protection. If you want to, you can skip with the basic one. But it is definitely recommended to have some battery protection, to have something enabled in here. There is also charging settings where we can toggle fast charging and fast wireless charging as well. Alright, now besides that, if we go to security and privacy over here, you should be able to find a couple of security tips that are definitely worth checking out. Like for example, we have the lost device protection, so you can turn on Find My Mobile. There is also the theft protection where we can toggle identity check, theft detection lock, offline device lock, failed authentication lock, and the remote lock. All of them are definitely worth having enabled, so be sure to check that out. There's also the app security where we can toggle app protection, which is something that is actually not enabled by default. And I think there is something more here in more security settings. So let me quickly check. No, I think that's all. So yeah, you should definitely check out these settings over here in security and privacy, just to make sure that your phone can be, for example, recovered, or to have increased chances to recover your phone in case it is lost or stolen. And alright, I think that's all. Now we're gonna go back to the app drawer one more time for a second, because there's one more thing that I want to show you. Of course, Samsung Galaxy smartphones have this kind of app drawer where we can scroll through pages. So we have pages, we don't scroll up and down, which is something that you can usually do on other Android smartphones. But you can make a change over here, so you can tap on this on these three dots in the upper right corner, and you can change the sorting to alphabetical order. And now you can actually scroll up and down. So if you prefer this over pages, you can easily make that change here. And in addition to that, you can of course switch back to the custom order, just like that. So if you change your mind, you can just go back. And I believe that is pretty much everything that is essential to do on Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8 right after the initial configuration. Of course, there's probably more that you might want to do, like set up the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth devices. You might want to go some other settings. You might want to change the wallpaper and stuff like that. But of course, this is very personal. It's up to personal preference what you want to do from now on. So you want to go through settings and to make those changes by yourself. You should be able to easily do so. But in case you need help, I made lots of tutorials for the smartphone, so you can check that out. And I guess now you can start installing apps using the Play Store or the Galaxy Store. So of course you have everything that you need to and that you want to have on your Galaxy Z Flip 8. So that's pretty much it. Leave a like and subscribe.